Hello, good afternoon. Happy Wednesday. Can someone drop in the chat the comments that they can hear and see me? And we'll get going on today's live. It's a very long title, and I'll explain it here in a moment. Let me just make sure I'm get all set up. And let me know how you're doing. How's it going? What's new for you? Okay, I'm here. So today we're going to be talking about what you're losing by afraid of losing that very thing, right? And what to do and think and feel instead. So just take a moment here. Think of something that maybe you're afraid of losing. So, for example, in the past, I was a diver. I was a Division I diver for University of Delaware. And I had a few injuries. And I came back from those injuries, like into the diving world, too quickly because I was afraid of losing my diving. I was afraid of losing the dives. I was afraid of losing my place on the team. I was afraid of losing the team and the community itself. And so then I came back from my injury way too fast. And you know what? I lost it because I didn't allow myself to heal fully. So I injured myself again and I needed another surgery, and that ended my career. So I ended up losing the very thing I was afraid of losing because I was gripping so tightly to it. So let me know. Can you relate? Can you think of a scenario? I've got some more for you. Another one is this very pattern repeating itself, and some of you know I've been practicing yoga now for a decade or 2 decades or so, 20 years. And uh, maybe about a decade or so ago, I injured my back, and I was afraid of losing my yoga. I was afraid of losing the postures. I was afraid of losing my flexibility, my strength, the community, the progress I had made so far. And so I was gripping so tightly to those physical postures, not the essence of yoga, not the whole entity of yoga, but actually the physical postures I was gripping to. I was very afraid of losing it because at the time I didn't really understand the all-encompassing yoga. And I came back from an injury too quickly, or I pushed myself, I forced myself into postures that my body wasn't quite ready for. And I really delayed my healing. So by being fearful of losing my yoga, I actually was losing it because I wasn't able to practice. Every time I kept showing up, I'd force and push too much, and then I wasn't able to practice the way I really wanted to. And I kept delaying the result that I actually wanted to achieve. So let me know if you can relate to any of this. You can drop it into the comments below. Another one I hear from a lot of my clients or patients is that they are afraid of losing the ability to run X amount of miles, like so many miles. They're afraid of losing the ability to participate in triathletes or CrossFit, or maybe they're stressed out and anxious because they're afraid of not gaining progress in their business, right? Or certain results in their business. They're afraid of losing the ground that they've already covered. And so now they're hustling and grinding. So today I'm going to talk about a different perspective. So first, call to mind. What might be something you're afraid of losing? Whether it's a relationship, something physical, yoga, activity. Maybe it's money. And currently, what are you doing right now? You can journal this out. What are you doing to try to keep that, to hold it tightly? Write out actual actions that you're taking or not taking, not doing because of this fear. You can, if you feel courageous, drop it into the comments, into the chat. Monitoring here on the side from Zoom. Okay, so now you have an idea of some patterns and habits you have. It's okay, no judgment, no criticism. Now let's shift perspective here. This changes everything. And it's not usually taught this way, especially for pain, sciatica, or even stress relief, right? We're going to create some health and stress resiliency. So this thing that you're holding so tightly to, what are you trying to gain by having that in your life? What will it bring to your life? Like if you were able to compete in as many triathlons that you wanted to, as many marathons as you wanted to, if you could participate in CrossFit every day without pain, if you were able to create the revenue, the monthly revenue in your business that you desire, if you had the relationship that you wanted in your life that you desired, what would that bring to your life? Why is it so important to you? Write that down. Okay, now, why is that important to you? So what you just wrote down, like if you're able to go running every day, maybe it's for stress relief. So if you're relieved of the stress from your run, what would that bring you? Or maybe you want to run so you feel stronger, more youthful. What would that bring you? Keep going a couple layers. Keep asking yourself. So ultimately, you get down to your deep desires of what you're really wanting. And sometimes we grip so tightly to this activity or this goal because we don't even realize our own deep, deep desires. And unconsciously, our mind, our unconscious mind is trying to bring it to the surface by having you achieve this. So sometimes just becoming aware of what you really want, honoring that for yourself, being a witness to your own desires for yourself, that's enough to loosen the grip. If not, I have another step. And the next question is, okay, so let's say you want to practice fancy yoga poses. So you feel stronger, it keeps you feeling more youthful, you maintain your mobility, it reduces your fear of aging, all these things, right? And essentially, if you keep asking yourself why, it's so you have confidence, so you have freedom in your body. So you don't feel that life is just going downhill as you age. Your body's just going to be a rapid, steep slope of declining issues. Right? It gives you hope. Maybe the practice gives you hope. Now, here's the thing that's kind of crazy. Each of you have a different activity or a different goal or a different revenue dream or a different vision for your business or your career. Every one of you, it's going to be different. Even if you both say CrossFit, what you're actually thinking about in CrossFit is going to be different. So that's not the thing. That's not the thing that's going to bring you that end goal of hope or freedom or strength and belief in yourself. You know what it is? You know what's really going to bring you that? It's you, your thoughts. So you actually have the ability to create these feelings right now. You don't need that external activity or event or a goal to feel that way right now. Isn't that crazy? It's like, for me, it was, right? That whole first sentence was mind blowing for me. Like I was actually losing something because I was so fearful of losing it. And instead, you can be this person. You can embody this person when you achieve this goal or do that thing. You can be that person right now. Start to embody it right now. And then it's a practice of continuous belief and trust. And what if you couldn't run again? What if you couldn't do those fancy yoga poses again? Is that really a problem? If you trusted and believed in yourself that you could create these feelings, if you could create that life of joy and happiness and freedom in your body, even when you're 85 years old. What if that was the truth? Would you push yourself to lace up your shoes and run, even though your body screamed and begged you not to go so far, not to pound so much? Kind of crazy, huh? Right? So you actually give yourself the ability to do this thing or have this goal by letting it go and honoring what you really need, what you truly desire. That's your practice for the week. So you might need to watch this a few times, journal it out. I'm going to have a corresponding podcast come out in a couple of weeks. So stay tuned to that. Subscribe to the podcast if you haven't already. This week's podcast is about my healing. It is about this very journey. So how do I know this to be true? Because it can seem a little esoteric, a little out there, right? No, I need the thing. I need to run. Is because I live it. I have not been able to practice the fancy yoga poses for the last couple of months because, as you know, I had a surgery. And it's okay. I still feel happy. I still feel complete. My body's healing. But I'm still hopeful that as I age, even though I'm going into menopause, right? That's another external event, that it's not all going downhill. I have belief, I have trust in myself that I'm going to develop the yoga practice and what I need day to day, moment to moment in terms of activity, relationships, like playfulness time with my daughter, with my husband, all that. What I need from my business, that it'll all come, right? And if I can start to be this person right now, despite healing, despite premature aging or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's all that's all external stuff. but I feel good now. And that's the most important thing. I want to keep embodying that, keep that in my mind's focus instead of holding so tightly to crow pose or the ability to do 3 push-ups in my sun salute. So it's a little bit different way of thinking. And I'm not saying that you have to let go of those activities that you love. All I'm saying is that to notice what gripping so tightly, holding so tightly of to those activities, what that actually might be costing you. So you can let me know in the chat, send me a message. If this resonates with you at all, stick with me here for a minute. I have an opportunity for you to jump on a call with me, just mano a mano, one to one for 60 whole minutes. And here's why you need this call, because sometimes we think that achieving this elusive life balance of happiness and joy, putting effort into the things that we love is complicated, right? Or getting out of pain is complicated. But I promise you, it's really not. And I can show you how. So this call is super valuable because when you get on, when we chat, what we're going to go over is all the things in the past that you've tried, whether it be practitioners you've seen, yoga practices you've done, YouTube videos, Google, whatever it is, we're going to go over them. And we're going to figure out why they didn't work for you. And then we're going to use that as a stepping stone to create a unique program and plan just for you, not using what didn't work, but based upon what your true desires are. Like, what's the real reason that you want to get out of pain, or why you want to have less stress and anxiety, right? So I'm going to show you all that. We're going to create that plan on this call. And no one really teaches all this stuff quite like this. And so it's worth your time. That's all it is. It's an investment of time. There's no obligation, no commitment needed. It's 60 minutes of your time to learn this information about yourself, because truthfully, you deserve a better life experience than gripping onto an activity or goal so tightly that you really miss out on the full spectrum of what's available to you in life right now. You deserve a better experience than waking up in the middle of the night worrying and stressing about this, right? Instead, you have the opportunity to wake up feeling energized and hopeful. So let me show you how. You can just head over to the website and sign up for your free stress reduction planning call. If stress isn't your primary problem, don't worry about it. Don't get hung up on the goals. Just whatever it is that you feel stuck in, substitute it. That's what we're going to focus on. Ultimately, I find that whatever someone's goal is, whether it is to get out of pain or improve their business or communication or time management or whatever it is, there is some layer of stress and anxiety or worry or panic about that in some sense. So that's kind of the more encompassing term, but you do you. Just sign up and we'll focus on you. I'll drop the link here in the comments when we wrap up this call, but don't delay, because I think this week I might be booked, or maybe I have one spot remaining, and same with next week. Like next week is already filling up because I already sent out to my newsletter list, like doors are opening. I am getting back into working with people. I have very limited one-on-one spots. So if you want any of this, it's important to you, then make sure to sign up now, or else you're going to end up having to wait 2 to 3 weeks until our calendars align and spots open up and that sort of thing. So next week, we'll be back at noon Pacific Standard Time again with a new topic. Again, you can subscribe to the podcast. I try to correlate the episodes of here with the episodes of the podcast. So on the podcast this week, again, is I recorded it when I was in week 2 of healing from this preventative hysterectomy. So you can hear about that experience in real time, and might give you hope if you're recovering from a surgery or have to have a surgery or are going through healing and an injury yourself. You can hear how I'm actually living through it and coming out on the other side. Yesterday was actually 5 weeks now. So I'm going to record another episode, and things are going really, really good. So 2 thumbs up. I'm super excited for this year, and I can't wait to see you next week. Alrighty. Bye for now.